Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it may be. Craig Hiking Pipes. It's a Saturday, which means I'm a day behind my stories that I usually tell on Fridays. I'm going to try to keep doing that as long as I have something to talk about. First, a little housekeeping. This is my Uncle Howard's. I inherited this pipe, Amarelli. This is a beautiful little pipe. It has 18 karat gold inlays on both the stem and the shank for alignment. And this smokes really well. I've been smoking this a lot more often. And for the first time, I'm trying some Capstan Blue. So I've tried a sampling of Capstan Gold, and it was good, but it was a little too bright for me, a little too citrusy for me. I tend to prefer the deeper Virginias. So the Capstan Blue kind of falls, I think, from what I understand, into that range. And I'm trying my first bowl of it. So far, not bad. But I never really am good at formulating a first opinion. It usually takes a couple of three bowls before I do that. So learning to drive. As I've stated before, excuse me, um, I come from Long Island, New York. And for at least the time when I was learning to drive, the rules were at 16 you can get a learner's permit. At 17 you can get kind of what is quasi a junior license, which means you're not allowed to drive after 9 p.m. or before, I think it was like 6 in the morning or something like that. And then when you turn 18, that junior license automatically rolls over to a full-blown license. But my first time behind the wheel of a car was actually at the age of 14. What had happened was, no, I didn't steal a car. And this was done with parental permission, of all things. Very breezy day out here. So my father was going on a business trip. And he decided to take me along with him. He was going to Philadelphia from Long Island. And he thought that while he was doing work for one day in a hotel room, I could stay in the hotel room for one day while he was doing work, and then we'd take the rest of the time, a long weekend, to see Philadelphia. And it was just he and I. So we're driving down the Long Island Expressway, and for anybody who knows this, this is one of the most crazy roads in the United States. The adage was, pray for me, I drive the LIE, the Long Island Expressway. So we're driving down the Long Island Expressway heading towards Philadelphia. Once again, I should do better preparatory by getting my bowls firmly lit before I start yammering. So as I was saying, so we're going down the Long Island Expressway, and I don't exactly know how we got on the subject, but got on the subject of driving. And I've driven go-karts and mini bike and that kind of stuff. And my father said in his very challenging way, "You think you could drive this car?" I'm 14 years old, full of vim and vigor. Of course I can. On the middle of the expressway, pulls off to the shoulder of the road. He says, "Okay, take it." I'm a 14-year-old boy getting behind the wheel of a car. I'm not going to say no. Do I have any intelligence? Not a lick. So, on the shoulder of the Long Island Expressway, I got behind the wheel of the car, and then I had to pull into traffic. This is my first action with a car, is on an expressway, I'm on the shoulder, and I have to then merge into traffic as my first action behind the wheel of a car. I did it. So I probably drove the vehicle for probably about maybe 2-3 miles. It was maybe 5 minutes. I was doing under, the bare speed limit. I think I was doing like 45 to 50 miles an hour. And it was an old, I think it was a Ford sedan my father had when we were doing this. Ford Fairmont, I think. Anyway, I'm just driving down the slow lane for a few miles, maybe 5 minutes worth. And I think then my father had the epiphany, which he should have had previously, that this is an insane thing to be going on. 14-year-old kid, never driven a car before, going down the Long Island Expressway. So, very calmly, he said, good job. Okay, you can pull over now. Which I did. Put my blink. He said, put the blinker on and, pull over. And I pulled over and took it from there. When we got to Philadelphia, the hotel was a massive hotel with a huge parking lot. And over that weekend, he allowed me to continue to practice in the parking lot. But, yeah, as a parent myself, although my daughter's going to be, just about 25, when I was teaching her, I thought about this. And how crazy was my father to put me behind the wheel of a car for my first time on an expressway. Well, that's how I learned to drive. So, I'll wish everybody a happy Pipe Week. I have a couple of videos that I'm thinking of doing over the course of this week. One of them will be I think I'm going to try to do a pipe tour. My pipe collection has changed somewhat since I last flashed it a number of months back. And I'm going to try to do a little bit more of a scientific comparison on something. I'm not going to give that away just yet. So anyway, for now, be well, be safe, be good to one another. And again, happy to the beginning of Pipe Week. We'll see you again real soon. Take care for now. Bye-bye.